The answer lies in the heart of battle.
King of Iron Fist Tournament.
Mugen TV versus Corner.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
Hey everyone, this is MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video. And today I want to talk about SNK with Samurai Spirits. Now, this game will be out, I guess you could say, in a couple of months. They revealed a trailer last week regarding the characters and the roster. I believe it's the full roster that they revealed, and I know I'm a week late on this, but I just wanted to, just take my time with it and just to give my thoughts on what I think about the game. So we're going to check out the trailer real quick, and at the trailer I just want to give my thoughts on it, what I feel about Samurai Spirits in the game overall, and what I expect from it and everything. And then I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it. So we're going to dive right into it. We're going to check out the trailer, and then we'll just have a discussion about it. So let's dig right into it. Now, as far as this art style, I'm not really too keen on it or crazy about it, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm not really too familiar with the characters as well. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Shiki and her. I really want to see those two characters in action the most, because those two, like, they're really pulling me in as far as wanting to main them. Sweet. Yeah, there she is. Awesome. There she is again. It looks like it's gonna have a story mode of some sort. Interesting. I love the soundtrack too. I love the soundtrack to this trailer. Hopefully that's the main theme to this game. Hopefully it is. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, June 27th, 2019. Interesting. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the trailer and everything. So let us just dive right into it. My overall thoughts about Samurai Spirits or Samurai Showdown, whatever you want to call it, whichever one sounds better or preferable to you. As far as Samurai Spirits or Samurai Showdown is concerned, this was a game, especially back when I was a kid. Back when I was a Super Saiyan casual when it came to fighting games and everything. Street Fighter was a household name. It was the fighting game back then, me growing up as a kid. Especially at game night with my father, my uncles, and my cousins. We all go around my uncle Gene's house, and we all play video games. Especially on Friday. Every Friday we went around there and we all played Street Fighter. That's what everybody played in the house. We played other games, multiplayer games, but it was more so Street Fighter when it came to our fighting games at the time. And then you had SNK. SNK was always that company that created fighting games that most people would overlook or not really too familiar. It felt more niche, and I think SNK had some of the most hardcore dedicated fan bases, and it was a small fan base, especially for that time. Not many people were familiar with their games compared to how Capcom was more in the limelight in the mainstream. But the thing that really stood out the most for me about Samurai Spirits or Samurai Showdown, it was that alternative. It was much different than Street Fighter, and the thing that really pulled me into Samurai Spirits at the time was the fact is that it had these dynamic camera zoom in and zoom out, and I've never seen that before in a fighting game. And it seemed like that most SNK fighting games of that time, and especially they had this, it was their trademark. They had dynamic camera angles, and the way it zooms in and zooms out of the action, it pulls you in. It makes the actions, it makes the attacks feel much more of an impact when you landed certain attacks and the way the camera moved around. And with Samurai Showdown, it was the same way for me. When I first came in and watched my cousin Zion play against his father, my uncle Gene, I came in and watched him play it for the first time, and I like how when the characters are separated from one end of the corner to the other end, how the camera zoomed away from the action, and then when it got in, it zoomed close up. It was something I just never seen before. And then not too long after that, I got my hands on the game and gave it a try, and I really liked it. Even though I wasn't really into fighters like that, I just thought the game was overall fun. And the two mechanics that really stood out the most to me in Samurai Spirits, especially at that time, was the fact is that characters had these helpers. I don't know what's the terminology for these type of characters in Samurai Spirits, but these helpers was like, for example, Galfred. He had his pet wolf on the side of him, so when he fought, his wolf would be in the background, and then you can use him to command him to use special attacks, and he was able to capitalize off little attacks after he attacked you. And then the other character, I can't remember her name, she has the bird, the eagle, can't pronounce it. She can use her bird to attack, or she can jump onto the bird and she can hover across the stage, which I thought was pretty interesting. I really liked that gameplay mechanic. It was something I've never seen before, especially having 3 type of characters on the screen at one time. You have your opponent, you have you, and then you have your side character. So seeing that in a fighting game of that time for me was very exciting. It was very different. And then the second gameplay mechanic was the fact is that you were able to drop your weapon onto the ground, and then your character would be barehanded, and then they had a pretty much a move set of its own when it came to being barehanded, and he was pretty much at a disadvantage. And I used to watch how my father and my uncles and them used to play. When they dropped their weapons, they used to try to stop each other from grabbing their weapons, so it kept them more in the advantage stage against each other and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty interesting. And the blood and the gore when you strike and you finish your opponent off, and how the blood gushes out, and the music, it was everything about this package with Samurai Spirit, especially of that time, was super exciting for me. So it only made sense. SNK has been doing really well as far as wanting to take their fighting games much more serious, and to also try to bring it out into the mainstream as much as possible. And I think they're going in the right direction with it. And starting with King of Fighters 13 and going to 14, and now it only makes sense that Samurai Spirits is the next thing to do as far as going into other fighting games they pull out of their library. So I think that was pretty cool that they decided to do this. Now, as far as Samurai Spirits, this version is concerned, as far as visuals and the art style, I'm not really too impressed with this art style. It's something about the whole picture, the oil paint type of visuals that they decided to go with this game. To me, I think this type of art style overstayed its welcome. Street Fighter 4 had done it. Street Fighter Cross Tekken has done it. Even though Marvel vs. Capcom went for more of a comic book type of feel for it, it still had that type of saturation to it with the dark lines around the characters and stuff. It kind of pulled me out of the experience. And also Borderlands art style has this type of visual aesthetics to it, which it really sometimes pull me out of the experience, and I don't really like it too much. Now, to say this, I don't think that it's enough to make me not want to play the game. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to play this game, but I'm just really getting tired of the art style. But the way it moves, 60 frames per second, it still moves like fluidly. It still looks gorgeous in that sense. Now, as far as characters concerned, I'm really interested in wanting to try Shiki and the brown skin fighter who has the dreads in her hair. She looks pretty interesting. Those two characters really caught my interest. It piqued my interest, and I definitely want to get my hands on to try those two ladies right there. Now, as far as the story mode is concerned, it looks like from the cutscenes and the cinematics they may have a streamlined story mode, similar to how NetherRealm Games, like I'll always give credit to NetherRealm Games, they really changed the way story mode work. They evolved the story modes in fighting games, and then of course Capcom and Street Fighter 5 tried to do the same thing. But now it looks like Samurai Spirits is definitely going to go that route from looking at it with the whole cinematic thing. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. And I'm not really familiar with Samurai Spirits lore, so I think this is a perfect chance for me to even dive into that. But overall, I'm really looking forward to this game. Now, since I'm a bit more into fighting games, this is pretty much going to be my first Samurai Spirits experience as a person who play fighting games on a much more deeper level now, with my awareness of of how fighting games work. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying this. Now, from what I've seen with the gameplay, the game doesn't really look as combo heavy as most fighting games are. It seemed like this game is more about spacing, poking, finding those openings to to score in like critical damage on your opponents and stuff, which it kind of makes sense that this is like a samurai type of fighting game. You know what I'm saying? Like how samurais, it's not really about comboing your opponents. It's about, you know, clashing, find the opening, and make that fatal blow, that fatal strike. Something like Bushido Blade made by Squaresoft or Square Enix or whatever companies you prefer to call it during that time when that game was made. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to it. And now I definitely want to hear your thoughts on it. What do you think about Samurai Spirits or Samurai Showdown? Are you looking forward to this? And knowing that the fact is that this game is coming out June 27th of this year, which is 2 months away from EVO 2019, are you quite surprised that this game is going to be there? And do you think this game deserved to be at EVO 2019 opposed of, you know, other games that could have potentially had its spot? Definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. And what characters are you looking forward to playing in this game? And also, what characters do you want to be DLC in this game as well? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you like, pass, share the video, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. This is MugenLord signing off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.